Ah, right. Okay. We are live. There was a delay then. Our apologies. This is live video, and it's Tuesday, and it's 4 p.m. in the UK, 11 a.m. on the East Coast, and quite possibly 8 a.m. This is very strange because Lynda's just starting her day, and my day is halfway through. But this is Just Do It with Lynda West and Stephen Healey, and Lynda is about to return. 3, 2 ish, 1. No, that didn't work. So I'm going to say hello
I'm
to
here.
April, Fernando, Corinda, who may. Right. Okay. We did go live. Hello, Lynda.
Awesome. We went live. That's good. That's very interesting because I'm good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. But it is interesting because from my perspective, and I'm the one who has controls over the show
You
today,
do.
is that I couldn't see that we were live. So I'm glad you just went on with it. Good day, April. Good to see you today. And let's go, Stephen, go ahead and why don't you share what we're going to talk about today? Some of the items we're going to talk about today.
Well, the main item today on the Just Do It list is something that Lynda, well, you couldn't sleep early this week. You got up and you grabbed a piece of paper and you said, let's just do this. And you wrote down an idea and sketched it out. Then we got together and talked through it. And there's the piece of paper. There's the proof that that's how it all started. And that's how Talk Tuesday, or you pronounce it, I'll follow.
Taco Tuesday. So I'm going to put it up on the screen here. I hadn't thought about doing that, but Taco Tuesday is a talk show, and Stephen is going to be producing the show. So I'm really excited. It's funny, Stephen, because how often have you had a time where you went to bed and you had an idea and you're like, oh, you just started thinking about it, and then a couple hours later, you realize you're still awake, still thinking about it, and it's just like growing and growing and growing. And that's exactly what happened to me. And now Taco Tuesday, I actually came up with this idea over a year ago, and I just kind of like, I have a lot of ideas, right? How many of you have a ton of ideas?
Me.
And then I have an idea, I write it down, I actually have an idea box. So I write the idea down so I can kind of get it out of my head, and I stick it in this box that I have, and literally have hundreds of ideas in there. But Taco Tuesday kept coming up in my mind, from time to time it would come up. And so that particular night, which was the other night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then you kept popping into my head like, oh, I'll just have Stephen will produce it. Like I already had all envisioned in my head of what was going to happen Taco Tuesday. So I woke up, I didn't wake up. I got out of bed and I literally wrote down every single idea I had about Taco Tuesday, and, having auditions, people audition for the show. So if you want to audition for the show, I don't even know how to get go to tacotuesday.com. I bought a domain name and everything, and it'll send you to a job form where you can, fill out the form. And I did everything. Literally, I think it took about 5 hours to put everything together, just so that we could put it out there and start it. So Stephen is going to be producing the show. Super excited to do that. He's going to produce season 1. We're going to see how season 1 goes. And I'd love to have you audition for the show. Auditions start October 2nd. And we're just going to kind of wing it and see where this goes, because I think people keep asking me, well, what kind of topics are you going to have? Well, the topics will really depend on who the co-hosts are, because I'm going to have 2 co-hosts. And so, everybody brings a different thing to the table. So I'm imagining some of the talk shows that are out there that have like panels of people, a host and co-host, that those shows probably were, the idea was like, let's just like put it together and see what happens, because the different dynamics of different personalities will bring, different topics and different sparks, right? The one thing I will say, Stephen, is, I'm into positivity and making positive impacts. And so the show is all about, it's fun, positive, and uplifting. So if you're fun, positive, and uplifting, we'd love to have you audition for the show. Bam.
So we're talking
Like
we're talking about people who already have co-hosted or hosted shows.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I kind of go back and forth on that. Because what if there's somebody out there who hasn't yet hosted a show because they're not sure what to do? I mean, why not audition? Maybe maybe you're a natural. You just come on board, go for the audition, and then the audience will vote. So if the audience likes you, then heck, you might be the one who wins. You never know. Maybe you're sitting on the fence and you're like, I haven't gone live yet because I really don't know how. I don't know how to do it myself. I'm not sure what to say. So maybe co-hosting the show is your way to put yourself out there, to share who you are, and to be able being supported by other people who who have also already gone live. So maybe, I don't know, I would try it. Heck.
Right. Okay. So it's an ideal opportunity because you all you have to do is turn up, sit down, talk. You don't have to worry about any controls at all. Just get yourself on camera and start talking. And just a word to April. April, I hope you're feeling better today, and I look forward to seeing you later this week, hopefully. Yeah. So, how do people get started? The link is up above, I think.
Yeah, the link is up above, and I'll also put it in the comments because I know sometimes people can't click on the links in the up above. But I wanted you guys to also vote for the logo. But I'm having a hard time pulling it up into Be Live for right now. So I'm working on that and trying to get that up there so you could vote. But there's two different logos that are to choose from. It really only a color difference. So the only difference is that the word Tuesday is in blue or it's in black. Those are the two differences. And for some reason, I'm not able to pull it. Oh, here it comes. Okay, let's see if it'll let me pull it up here. And so, I'm just like push this logo out there, and I don't think anything's showing up.
Not at the moment.
So let me see if I can get it to show. No, nothing's showing up. So I'll push it back down there, and I'll see if I can get it to.
There's a delay. Try again.
There's a delay? Okay, I'll try. This is the beauty of live, you guys, is that, there's so many different things that, no, it didn't work. Okay, I'm going to keep trying because I'd like you guys to vote for, maybe I'll try it this other way. Vote for the.
If we keep trying, and say hello to Lynn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Lynn. It's good to see you today. How are you doing? And then we got April. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, I hope you feel better. Being sick sucks.
Oh yeah.
Just the bottom line. Like, you don't really want to do anything. Have you ever had a time, Stephen, where you just you woke up and you said, you know what? I'm just not doing anything today. I'm just going to lay in bed. Have you ever done that?
Only when you're ill. I think that's the only time I've actually had that sort of feeling. Probably lucky in that respect. Yourself?
Yeah.
3, 2.
Not very often.
Oh, good. 3,
2, 1. Yeah, I do. Okay, here we go. We've got it.
Yep.
Okay, so what I'd like you guys to do is to vote below for the logo. And so what you're going to do is you're going to say Black Tuesday or Blue Tuesday if it comes up. I know it's going to come up. Let me try to go the other way. Oh, there it was. Okay. Blue Tuesday or Black Tuesday? Blue Tuesday or Black Tuesday? Go ahead and vote below. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. It's been interesting because I selected one, and then I put it out on my personal Facebook page, and it's overwhelming the opposite of what I saw, which is, it's so interesting, right? Because a lot of times you'll you have an idea, or maybe you have 2 or 3 ideas to choose from, and you put it out there to people, and they have totally different viewpoints than you do. And so what do you do? Let's talk about that, Stephen. What do you do in that kind of situation? Do you go with your gut, your original gut, Or do you go with what the masses select?
Unless there's a great outpouring of against your original choice, I would stay with the original choice. I mean, basically, what you got, it's I don't know, difficult call. I don't do that. I just I just do it. I just go ahead and choose my design. And just to go back for a moment, April's picked up on the name of the show that's going to take place, and April's got when Lynda told me about this. In the UK, we say taco, not taco, but I misheard and I thought it was Taco Tuesday. But April's saying, "Is it
going to eat tacos?"
Taco, right? I'm gonna have to learn how to speak properly. I know somewhere down the road.
Well, I don't know if we speak. We are the pups. So actually, we're probably the ones that are saying it wrong.
I think it's 50-50.
So let's see. It's 50-50.
Yeah, that's the blue one.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting. That's the blue ones. Let me show that solo again. So that's the blue one, and then the black one. So some slight difference. I'm going to actually have him change the microphone in the O to a Blue Yeti, because that's the microphone I use. So there's your blue one, and there's the black one.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what people vote. So just vote below the blue Tuesday or Black Tuesday, and I'm just going to compile votes. And it is interesting you said that, Stephen, because normally I would just do what I want, and what I realized is, which is good, because we need to take ownership, right, of our own actions, take responsibility for the results. But I realized for me that sometimes my idea isn't the best. And so, because I'm not like a very creative person when it comes to stuff like this, like graphics, designs, and stuff like that. So I really need help in deciding on this stuff. Plus, another thing it does is it helps to get the word out about what you're doing. That's another thing that it does. But then also people like to participate in these kind of contests. Like right now, this contest is just deciding on the color of the word Tuesday. Is it blue or is it black? But it's fun to participate in stuff like that and have a vote. Like you have your vote be heard. So awesome. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to see Lynn. Lynn is funny. Okay, she's like, I couldn't see the blue clearly. Because first she went with Black Tuesday. And then, so April says she likes the black. Lynn says she couldn't see the blue clearly. Then she says the blue I like, but the black one I like better. That's my vote, and I'm sticking. So she went back and forth and back and forth. See, that's the problem I have. I go back and forth and back and forth. So I like have the audience decide for me. You see, I heard that 4 out of 5 dentists prefer the black one. That's funny. There's a commercial like 4 out of 5 dentists prefer this toothpaste over any other toothpaste. I love it. I love it. Black is classier than the blue. Okay. Interesting. So it's just going to be good to see what people, have to say about it. And, I'm so excited, Stephen, though, because the talk show, I've been wanting to have my own show for about 3 years. I love Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah Winfrey. And I remember it was about 2 years ago. I said, I want to have my own show, just like Ellen. I'm like, I can totally dance or sing, but I'd rather sing because that's my thing. I can totally like sing, and then I can interview people, and I can give away free stuff. I can totally easily do that. So why don't I start my own show? And that's where the idea of Taco Tuesday came in, is where I have a talk show. And then I thought it would be a lot of fun to have co-hosts, because then we have that, just a different energy, different synergy, and it's not just like Lynda all the time. So I thought that would be a lot of fun. So that's where this idea sparked from. Holding the auditions, kind of like doing American Idol auditions, and just letting the people vote on who has the best energy for the show to be fun, positive, and uplifting.
Okay.
Okay, so April loves the colors red, black, and white together. Yeah, and Lynn loves Ellen and Oprah too. They're just so amazing. It's and you know why, talking about that from my perspective, Stephen, is I grew up in a very abusive alcoholic household, and I married someone just like my dad. Which was very unfortunate, but a lot of marry someone just like your dad, and I did, and because of my first 21 years of my life, I felt like I was restricted in what I could and couldn't do because of the fear that I had. I had so much fear growing up. Like if I said this, that somebody would get beat, like literally, like that's how it was. And so because of that, I stifled myself. My voice was stifled for decades, for 51 years, until I hired a life coach. And my life coach helped me to see that I actually have some value to offer the world. And from then it's like, well, shoot, you just can't shut me up now, but because of, growing up in that environment, I allowed it to affect me in a way where I didn't see that I had any value. And so when I would watch, Ellen or watch Oprah, I was like things like, wow, that would be so cool to do that. That would be so cool to do that. But that's what they do, like them do. And not even realizing at the time that Oprah grew up in a very abusive, environment. And the thing is that I allowed it to stop me. Whereas maybe someone like Oprah said, you know what, I'm not going to let that stop me. So, life is what we make of it, right? Like, what are we going to do with our lives? And so as I started going on thinking like I could totally do my own show. Yeah, you know what? I can do this. You know what? I'm going to do this. And so changing my mindset from years ago saying, wow, that's so cool that they do that. I wish I could do that, to that's something I think I can do, changing it to that's something I'm going to do. And now it's something I am doing. I'm in the process of it. So, putting yourself through that kind of mindset shift, it takes a while. It doesn't, it can happen instantly. It can. But for a lot of us, it takes time to get there. And that's why for me, Taco Tuesday is so, I'm just getting emotional thinking about it. It's so important for me to do this because it's saying that I've gone from stifled to somebody who's putting myself out there and sharing with the world who I am and what I'm all about. Whether they like me or not is not relevant. What's relevant is that my mindset is at that place where I say, you know what? I have value and I'm putting myself out there.
And you're telling your story.
And I hope you will join me as my co-host. Yes, telling my story at the same time. I speak about it all the time now, and it's important. It's important for us to share like how we've come, from the rubble, right? And, to wherever we are now. And it's literally like my life is totally 100% flipped.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I mentioned that, my husband, my first husband, he every single day told me I was stupid and ignorant and said that, people are only nice to you because they feel sorry for you. And I remember the very first time I voiced that out loud, my throat was like locking up. My stomach was just like going crazy from nerves that what if he hears me? What if he comes after me? That's what was going through my mind. And I said, in my voice, in my own head, I said, F it. It's the reality. It's true. It's what happened. So I'm just going to say it. And if I get a repercussion from it, that's okay, because I want to admit the truth that this is what happened. And I let that person stop me from growing and stop me from being me. And no more. So there's the fun, positive, uplifting part of the show.
No, it's the experience and the driving force behind what you're doing. And you can't do what you're planning to do over the course of Talk of Tuesday unless you know where you're headed, where you came from, and it's all very relevant. And there are comments coming in left, right, and centre, agreeing with
yeah. It's, like, what are we going to do with our lives, right? So the reason I came up with, Taco Tuesday, fun, uplifting, positive, fun, positive, and uplifting, is because it was about 4 years ago when I hired my life coach that I realized that I was not having a fun, positive, and uplifting life. And I declared 4 years ago, I'm going to spend the rest of my life having as much fun as possible, hanging out with positive and uplifting people who want to make a positive impact on the planet. And because of that, that's why I want Taco Tuesday to be about that, because that's what I want my life to be about on a daily basis. And ever since I made that declaration, that's happened. Probably like 95% of my life is fun, positive, and uplifting. And it's been amazing, absolutely amazing. The people I'm coming into contact with, like you, people who are going to audition for the show, and, people who are going to be on the show. We're going to have guests who join us on the show. Like say, for example, you're our co-host, right? And you have a friend that you want to showcase on the show, then we're going to bring that friend on the show, and we're going to showcase whether maybe they have a book launch they have going on, maybe they're starting their business, launching their business, maybe they're launching a new product, but we're going to bring that person on so that we can showcase, the people that we know in our lives that we want to share with the rest of the world. So that's, one of the things we're going to do that's going to be a lot of fun is, showcasing other people, as well as, us talking about, maybe we'll talk about current events, maybe we'll talk about, I don't know, maybe we'll talk about religion. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about politics. I don't know. Those are two topics that for me are taboo, but I decided that with this talk show, that whatever the co-host and I agree on, that we'll talk about. So if they say, we're talking about religion today, I'm going to be like, that's usually a topic I don't talk about, but you know what? I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to be 100% honest, vulnerable, authentic about my beliefs and what I want to share, so it's going to be challenging for me to have co-host, because Indeed. This means I don't have full control, because I like having control over what I'm doing.
Well, it's a whole different ballgame from broadcasting solo, because you're in total control. You're producing, directing. Everything that's said is something you agree with because you said it. You can't or shouldn't argue with yourself live on air, so that you can't have an argument if you're solo. When you get 3 or 4 people in a room, then anything can happen. And I'm just happy to be sat in the producer's suite, just with my little, we take people off screen, just yank people off screen. I got the judge of that. So if Lynda goes like that, then I know I've got to do something. And but it's going to be fun. Now, what we're talking about is the shows before the show. You're looking for 2 co-hosts. And these are auditions starting October 2nd. These are auditions for people who want to be co-hosts on the show. And it's going to be quite amazing.
How do you say it, Stephen?
Oh, I'm not good. I just want to change the name. No, I'm going to talk. I mean, in English, that would be Talk of Tuesday. But you said taco, taco, a taco. I don't know. I'm going to call it, I don't know. I'll think on it.
Well, it's Talk O Tuesday. There we go. Yeah. So it's talk show where we, have positive and uplifting, and it's all about, helping people to see that they too can change their lives. That's what the positive and uplifting part about. Of course, the fun, we want to have fun, make sure we have as much fun as possible. I love to laugh. I know I have a goofy laugh, but what the heck? It's my laugh, and I'm going to keep it. Oh, no. It's mine. I actually tried to change my laugh.
We have a volunteer.
Oh, go ahead.
If you go to Catherine's last comment.
We do? Okay, let's see here. I'm scrolling through. I'm not very good at this producing.
It's going very quickly.
Stephen's going to produce it. Okay, let's see. Catherine. We're getting lots of comments, you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, Catherine says, thanks for sharing your thoughts. I can't share these thoughts with IRL others, but I can
life.
here.
Yeah.
What is IRL? Oh, in real life. Okay, thank you. I'm not really good at those acronyms either.
I'm translating here. This is good.
Catherine, thank you. Catherine says, Lynda, I am on the precipice of getting out there. Awesome. I've come into this Be Live community and I actually feel comfortable. I would like to try streaming as well. So maybe, Catherine, you go to, I will put, it's in the up above in the description of the show, but then also you can go to Taco Tuesday. So it's just tacotuesday.com and go ahead and fill out the audition form. It's going to be awesome. Even if it's your first time, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. You might be a natural and just not know it.
Totally. And the thing is that in each show, there are going to be 3 people on camera.
April.
Yes, okay. I'm not going to attempt that accent. Right. In each show, there are going to be.
That's a southern.
Yeah, I know where it comes from. I've watched the show because April watches it and promotes it, so I've watched the show. Yeah, so it's 3 people on screen, and one of them, of course, is Lynda. And what we want over the course of how many shows are going to be in the run up to the semis? How many did we say?
I don't know. How does that work?
Right. Okay.
I don't have that on my notes.
Well, so
we'll decide.
If you can't tell, we're winging this. I'm not saying we're making it up as we're going along. We've got a structure, but basically, what we're looking for is around 16 people. That's 2 people to join each show for a period of 8 weeks. Then there will be a semi-final or semi-final, as we'd say in the UK, and then a final, and then after that will come the first ever real Talk Tuesday. Yes, that's it. I think that's the format.
So again, so we're looking for 16 contestants, and you know what, though, Stephen, if we get more than that. Well, actually, we're looking for more contestants than that, of course, because we want to go through Stephen and I will go through all of the shows that we receive, like all the samples that we receive. And then we'll decide, who we're going to put in as the contestants. And so the 16 contestants, again, it'll be two per show, and they'll be a half hour long, just to, as far as the voting goes. And then the audience will vote from that first, from each week, the audience will vote for the top person, and then that person will be pushed aside to the semifinals, and the semifinals will go for 4 weeks. And so that'll be, each person, there'll be 8 people in the semifinals, and that'll go for 4 weeks. And then we'll go to the finals, which will be the final 4 people, will be 2 weeks long. And that's how we'll get our 2 talk show co-hosts for the show. So it's going to be a lot of fun, really exciting. We'll definitely have messenger bots set up for that, because we want to make sure that the votes are tallied by messenger bots, not us having to do it like Florida voting style. For those who know about the Florida debacle about 8 years ago for voting for president.
I know nothing about chits at all. Not even crossed over.
Yeah, so we're going to
Sorry.
We're going to have Stephen, we're going to have our bots take care of that instead of us. Yeah. So for the voting, it's going to be a lot of fun, and really hoping that people, that we get a lot of people interested in auditioning, because, this is just, like I said, it's another way to put yourself out there, to share who you are, to help elevate your business. Like if you're in business, this is a great way to elevate your business, because you're showing who you are, and, being part of a fun show that's going to be positive and uplifting. Taco Tuesday.
I'll get there. Yeah, it's also something you could actually put on your live video CV. In other words, you could actually say, take a look at this show I did with Lynda, and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So win-win. Now, everybody's talking about where they are, and I feel totally left out on this, because everybody's saying they're around New York on the East Coast. I think so. Brooklyn,
Yep, Staten Island. Okay. Okay, we got lots of stuff. I need Stephen to run the show because I'm not doing very good here.
There's so many comments
But this
coming
is why, you know what? We have strengths, right? Running the show is not my strength. And so that's why I reached out to Stephen, because you guys, I don't know if you know this, but Stephen produces shows. So if you are looking for someone to produce your show, reach out to Stephen and see if he's available, because he does a great job at it. It's not my forte, and that's why he's running the show and not me. But let's see, Roy says, why does it take time for most rather than instant mindset shifts, aka stinking thinking and junk in the trunk? Oh, that was referring to it took me 51 years, right, to make my mind to start to change. Once I discovered that I wanted to be a different person, which was 4 years ago when I hired my life coach, then I had to change my thinking from there. Yeah, stinking thinking, it gets all of us, at some point. Even those who are extremely successful have stinking thinking. They got to get over themselves, So why? I'm not sure why, but it's just part of our mindset. And we have to, the first thing about changing your mindset is to decide to change your mindset. So for example, let's say, I'll use a great example. Drinking water. A lot of us don't drink very much water, right? Like, I have my water bottle here. I should be drinking it during the show, so I'll drink some right now, but I forget to drink water. So, okay, Stephen's got, what do you have, water there?
Tea. I'm British. It's got to be tea.
So Stephen, okay. So, drinking water, for example. Oh, I don't drink enough water. I need to drink more water. I find that I'm not drinking enough water. So instead of saying that, you change your mindset and you say, effective this moment, I will drink more water. Effective this moment, I will drink 8 glasses of water a day, whatever it is. But you have to make a declaration and you have to decide to do it. And that's what our Just Do It show here. Like, we talk about things that we just do. So for example, Taco Tuesday. I woke up, I was up all night long thinking about it. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. So I sent Stephen a message. I think it was at like 3 a.m. when I sent him a message. I'd like to talk about, about producing it. For me, it was 3 a.m. So for Stephen, it was 11 a.m. So he was already awake. But it's like, I had this idea and I was like, I'm going to just do it and act on it. And so from this point forward, now I move it into motion. But we have to decide, and we have to make a firm conviction to decide to change whatever it is we want to change. And sometimes it takes a while for us to like, oh yeah, I'm drinking 8 glasses of water a day.
True.
But you have to put it into motion.
Before you realize
you have to decide.
You've got to have the intention and the motivation. And just going back to Gospel's question, the link is live, isn't it?
Yes.
And the website's live.
Yes. Yes, the website actually, so tacotuesday.com will actually take you to the audition. It's not a website. It's just like an application, audition application. I created it on JotForm, JOTFORM. For those who don't know about JotForm, you can actually do free forms on JotForm. I think you can do one for free. So if you're doing something where you want to tally votes or you want to get people to do applications or whatever, JotForm is a great way to do it. It's the platform I use. I love it. But that's what's up there right now. So you go to tacotuesday.com, tacotuesday.com.
I'm being given a pronunciation class here, I can tell. Anyway, there's a very important question from Barbara, who's asking what kind of tea I'm drinking. There are all kinds of tea that you can drink, but the tea that I drink normally is from Yorkshire in England, and it's called Yorkshire tea. There is Harrogate in Yorkshire is it's just a beautiful place to visit. If you Google it afterwards, you'll see why. It's Georgian, it's terraces, it's got a history, and it's a town where the rich and famous vacation, but it's in Yorkshire. And it's the home of a place called Betty's Tea Rooms. Now, if you think of a coffee shop, it's a coffee shop, but it's not for coffee, it's for tea, and it's for tea and cake. And it's the best of British cakes and the best of British tea, all from a tea shop in Harrogate. And they started making and blending their own tea. And it's called Yorkshire tea. And if you Google Yorkshire tea, you'll find it. There you are. That was a sort of moment with.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay.
I love that. You
Back
we
on
got a
script.
whole history. We got a whole history and everything. That's so cool. It's like I'm just drinking water. Water from the springs. Okay, guys. Okay, I had a boo-boo. I already forgot the domain name for our show, Stephen. It's tacotuesday.tv, not .com.
Okay, and not
so go to tacotuesday.tv.
I'm going to register the domain.
Thank you so much. I love the. Yeah. So yes, Catherine. Gospel. Yeah, she said she went there and it didn't take her to the right place. Yeah. So yeah, go to tacotuesday.tv. Now that we have the right domain name, that will work. Thanks for letting me know. Now, so Stephen, you don't drink Earl Grey tea. Is that an English tea also, or are all teas?
That's only English in period costume drama on the BBC, where everybody drinks Earl Grey tea. In reality, everyday Brits would like Earl Grey tea, but rarely drink it. I think it's fair to say we drink blended Indian teas. So Earl Grey does exist, but it's not an everyday tea, if you like. Yeah.
Okay, so that's more like a commercialized. This is the tea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could do a show.
Okay,
that's a tea testing show on Tuesday.
Tea totaling testing.
Yes.
Well, you know what's interesting you say that is because this morning, before we were getting ready to do our show, I was thinking, which I do a lot of, and what I was thinking about was that, you know how you're doing your show where people are going to show where they are, like where in the world you are, and show the town that they are in or what have you. I thought would be kind of fun is to like doing a dispelling the myths. So like the myth right there from the States, is that, people in England drink Earl Grey tea. Like that was my myth. And so you just busted that myth, you just dispelled my myth. And so it might be kind of fun to do one like there's myths in a certain town, or it's always cloudy and foggy in England. But is it really?
Yeah. There's a myth. I come from a place called Burnley in Lancashire, and Lancashire, that part of Lancashire, has a hill range called Pendle Hill, and Pendle Hill soars to 2,000 feet. And every Easter Friday, people go to the top of the hill, climb to the top of the hill, and then roll eggs down. Okay. But there is a local saying about the area. If you can see Pendle Hill, then, if you get this right, if you can't see Pendle Hill, it's raining. If you can see Pendle Hill, it's about to rain. So there you go.
Oh, gosh.
Right.
So there's no sun? Is there no sun?
There was early today. Yeah. I mean, last week it was 30 degrees. So dispel that myth. Yeah.
Okay, so 30 degrees, but is that Celsius?
Yeah, 30 Celsius is in the 80s.
Oh, okay. So nice and warm. Nice and warm.
Yeah, nice and warm. True.
Catherine says that in Star Trek, Captain Picard always orders from the computer, tea, Earl Grey, hot.
Well, Captain Picard is a Shakespearean actor in reality, and he's appeared in lots of different period dramas where the only thing they served him was Earl Grey tea. So he's carried that with him from his Shakespeare plays and his period dramas. But you're quite right, Catherine.
That's awesome. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Barbara says that she is coming there in 2 years. Brilliant. Part of her heritage is British. I'm actually English. Excellent. I'm English and German. So I'm part English, and so maybe I should start drinking tea.
You should. You should. Well, tea is good for you. It's an alternative to coffee.
It is?
It is good, yeah. It has health properties. We're going to have to do a show.
Can want you share? Yeah, share. Oh, a whole show on tea. Maybe we'll do that next time. We'll do tea talk. You can teach me about tea.
Tea talk on Tuesday.
Because I don't know anything about tea. Yeah, tea talk on Tuesday. Next week, tune in next week when we talk about tea. You can ask us all kinds of questions about tea, and Stephen will have the answers because
I'm going to do some research first and get my facts right.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to be putting rumors around. We've had enough of fake news. So we'll have the truth about tea. And
there we go.
Right, okay. And Catherine is saying my heritage is British as well. They came over in the 1500s to Plymouth. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I'm wondering if Catherine, if her relatives, Catherine's relatives and mine might have been on the same ship, because my understanding is mine came over back then too, Plymouth Rock. So I don't know if it's true. My mom, I think my mom liked to make up a lot of stories, but I'm not positive. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, your parents and grandparents, or your grandparents especially, will tell you stories which they have embellished over the years. And the story's grown and grown and grown, and there's a grain of truth in it. If my grandparents are anything to go by, anyway. All right.
Love it.
Okay. Now,
what's the best story you've heard from your family?
Oh, now you put me on the spot. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at being put on the spot. No, I can't. No. I need notice of being put on the spot.
Okay. Wait, did you just say I need notice of being put on the spot?
Oh yeah.
You can't get notice if you're being put on the spot. Okay,
All right. Okay.
Oh, see, Catherine did the ancestry thing, so that made it a little better. So yeah, mine was just hearsay, Catherine. I'm telling a story, and my mom told a lot of stories. She was actually in Toastmasters for years, like 30 years. And so she came up with a lot of stories. I don't know if any of them are true or not. She was one of those who would tell this story of like, me and my sister walked to and from school uphill both ways, in the snow. So I'm not sure if you can do that, walking uphill both ways. So she was a little bit of a storyteller.
Yes. Yeah, grain of truth, but the story gets embellished and grows over the years. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
good
well.
Stuff. Good stuff.
And you can put me on the spot next week, and I'll have a story. How's that?
Okay.
I'll find a story for.
So, Stephen, how did you get in? What I want to know is, how did you get into producing shows? Because did you just like when Be Live came out, and I'll just let you tell. Like, how did you get into producing shows?
Right. Okay. I was volunteered. I started doing shows on Blab.
Oh.
And we eventually got 4 people who were regulars on screen. And we've now been doing the show for 140 weeks, which means I've produced 139 episodes. And it was just practice. Like anything, you go into it and it doesn't work to begin with, and then you find out what works, what doesn't work, and you listen to what people on screen are saying and what people in the audience are saying, and then you work out in your own mind exactly how the show should be structured. Yeah. So let's take an example. If you've got 4 people on screen, you can show 4 people side by side to a vertical form, and it works, but it's boring. So if you've got 4 people on screen, what you want to do is either have them in 4 equal boxes, so they all get a chance, or you want to have just one person on screen if they're talking, or you want to feature the person who's talking at the top of the screen. All those are possible. It's a question of judging when it's right to do that. Yeah. So short answer to your question is that I learned by doing, which I do with most things. And
okay, but then you
shows.
decided, you know what, I'm liking doing that, so I'm going to start doing it.
Oh yeah.
Like as a business.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm trying.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Right. So basically, that because I'm producing 5 shows a week, effectively, apart from today's show, I learned and was able to offer it as a service, and do offer it as a service. So there you are. You can learn, and you learn a lot by actually watching other people do it as well. If you watch the master, whose name is Jeff Adams, then you really know how it's done. So watching hundreds of shows and doing hundreds of shows. In fact, I'm coming up to my 500th BeLive.tv show, which will happen in September. So learning by doing, just doing it. This is the answer to your question. And so
it's funny. I've done about 220. I thought my 220 was a lot, but shoot, I got ways to catch up to you.
Right, and Dean, well, no, Dean's got a question.
Yeah, so he says, good morning. I have a question when it comes to a market that is oversaturated for live streaming. Okay, so what is the question?
Is live streaming oversaturated? I think the answer to that is my interpretation. Is it too late to enter it, to start live streaming? And it's never too late, really. We're still pioneers. I mean, this is the beginning of something. It's not we haven't even got to the stage where we are not at the stage where there is mass adoption of live streaming. Okay. Now we know that everybody can try live streaming, but if you go to a coffee shop, you talk to 20 people, and you say, how many of you have live streamed? Put your hands up. Then my best guess is you get 3 or 4 people. So we haven't got to the stage where majority of people have actually, it's not mainstream yet. This is not mainstream. Yeah, it is to us because it's all we do, but to the general public, especially in the UK, live streaming is not mainstream. So I don't think it's oversaturated.
And you know what? That's a great point, because I spoke at an event. Make sure I'm not muted. My dogs are going crazy again. But I spoke at an event on my topic was I was teaching them about like why they should do live streaming. Mm-hmm. And so my very first question is, how many of you have done a live video? And there were, I think there were about 30 people in the audience. And of the 30, only 2 had ever done a live video. Yep. One of them only did one.
Yeah.
So if you think about the grand scheme of things, about, how many people there are on the planet, 7 billion, 2.2 billion, I think, are on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And of the 2.2 billion, even if it's just like, let's say 1%, that's only like 200,000 people, if I did my math right, doing live videos, which if you think about that, that's not really that many. It's an opportunity for you to share who you are, to share your personality, to share what it is you're up to, and an ability for you to connect with people. This is the number 2 way to make a connection with people, other than being in person, live and in person with them. Because only on live streaming can you have a conversation with somebody. They're asking you a question, like right now, we're answering the question that Dean asked. And so this is the best way to do that. Now, let's say, for example, you have a viewership of, let's say you have a total of 200 people that watch your show, on a regular basis. Now, some people have, hundreds of thousands. Some people, have, less than 50. But how many people as a client in order to have a successful business? If you need 15 people and you have 200 people watching your show on a regular basis, you're more likely to get those 15 people than if you don't do a live show, you don't introduce who you are, you don't share what you do, you don't put yourself out there. So that's those 15 people that you're trying to reach that you can't reach if you're not putting yourself out there. So this live video, it can be oversaturated, all it can be. The thing is that you're going to connect with the audience with. Those people are going to like you for who you are, and what you have to offer is the thing that they're looking for. So that's why it's really important to have your own show.
And go.
That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Just do it. Just do it. And Jason is saying, no. Jason is saying, no, it's not too late. Just make sure you're not being a copycat. Yeah. Well,
yes.
That comes back to your point. Be yourself. Be original.
Yep. Just be you. And if you're trying to copy other people, then it doesn't work. it doesn't work. Like anytime, you know, people who, like, we've all probably seen somebody who tries to copy people, and it just doesn't work, so just be yourself. So that's a great point. Okay, one of the things I love about live streaming versus YouTube, because everyone is my age group, not kids. And actually, you can live stream to YouTube also. They have, you can live stream over there too. But, it's finding your audience, right? So it's finding your audience. Where are they located? And go there. Don't try to go to all the platforms. There's too many platforms out there to try to keep up with them all. So find where your people are and go to them. Like me, I have like a primary and a secondary. So my primary is Facebook, big time. Facebook, my primary, and LinkedIn is my secondary. Mm-hmm. All the other ones are just like noise to me because my people aren't there.
Yeah, you don't want to spread yourself too thin. Just back to Catherine's point. There is in live video streaming, like no other, there is no sexism. In fact, we know it's fact that 60% of broadcasters are women. 60% of the people who broadcast on BeLive.tv. That shocks you, doesn't it? 60% of the members of the BeLivers group, and that's now got 7,400 members, 60% are women. So there's no sexism in the live video industry. Women rule. Okay, I have no problem with that. Not rule.
Well, I have a question on that.
Yeah,
I do have a question on that, Stephen, because 60% of the people in the group are women, but how many of them are actually really streaming, and how many of them are observing, watching what's going on, trying to learn?
Yeah.
But are scared.
True.
Bottom line, a lot of people are scared.
I totally agree with that. And that's something that we're both working on, helping people to overcome that being scared and the fear. But there's no sexism. There is no ageism. And people broadcasting range in age from 30 to 80. And it's basically based on the quality of the information that you're actually broadcasting. It's not based on who you are, what you look like. It's based on you've got to be informative, entertaining, and engaging. And if you are those three, it doesn't matter what race, religion, sex, anything you can just do it. How do you like that?
That's a great point.
Do it at the end.
Yes. Well, but that is a great point. And what were the three topics you said? You said entertaining,
informative, educational,
and
that's probably not the rest.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you're on the fence and you're not sure if you are you have anything that's informative, you're not sure if you have anything that's educational, and you're not sure that you're entertaining, don't let that stop you. Because we get in our own heads. This is what stops us from progressing in life. Fear is the thing that gets us like debilitating, right? It stops us from doing what we want to do or what we know we need to do. But not only that, a lot of times we have this self-talk going on in our heads, like I did decades, stopped me from putting myself out there. So here's the thing. Maybe you're not educational, maybe you're not entertaining, and maybe you're not informative, but put yourself out there anyway, because I'm guarantee you that in your mind, what you think you are and are not is different than what other people think you are and are not. Because True. I absolutely remember the day, the absolute moment that I said, I need to start putting myself out there. It was 4 years ago. Again, I was on this, I had this life coach, and it was 4 years ago. I was sitting at a workshop, attending this workshop, and something got into me that day where when the person holding the workshop said, does anybody have anything to say or any comments? For some reason, my hand just shot up higher than can be. And it was the first time I had ever raised my hand. Ever, because I was always scared of what people would think of me, because they would think I was stupid and they would judge me. And that's, because the things that my ex-husband said. So anyway, I stood up and I said, and then I was done. My stomach was fluttering. Like I was so nervous and scared because I actually said something out loud and people heard it. And so I sat down and the two women next to me said, "Oh my God, that was amazing. Can you repeat it? I want to write it down."
Yeah.
It was that very moment. It was like that moment had to happen for me to say, oh, maybe I do have some value. You know what? I do have value. I need to start speaking out loud. And so then I've taken every opportunity to raise my hand, to say something, whether I thought it was silly or not, because it wasn't about what I was saying. It was in and saying, I have, and I'm going to share my value. Maybe somebody out there to say, and I'm going to start sharing it. And it's totally changed my life. So the point is, just do it.
There's an audience for everyone. I just want to say hello to Emily. And yes. Emily is a lady and streams every week. Yes. So there you are, on point.
Awesome.
I think we're getting an idea of the mix of live streamers on the Live Video Hub, because I haven't done an analysis, but I can sense that there is no sexism in the industry. It's becoming an industry, and there's a comment from Catherine earlier which I loved, and she mentioned utopia, and I think it's not a live streaming. Well, it's not you. Well, it's the closest we've ever been to people actually supporting each other totally. I think if you go in anybody's show, if you go into the groups, you do not find people backbiting each other and arguing. What you do find is people talking to and with each other and trying to help each other. Everybody's so supportive, and that's a magical thing. That's the ethos that Be Live brought about. They did this. They created this system not so that we could go live and tell the world our story. It was so that we could go live and get the world to be involved in our story, so that through the medium of using the comments on Facebook, we could actually reach out to people and engage in conversation whilst we're live. And that's been their shtick from the beginning. That's why they've gone with integrating the Facebook live comments. That's why it's so important. That's why they're a bit miffed about what's happening in groups. But that's the whole thing, is to get people talking together, and everybody is really supportive, I feel, in my opinion.
And okay, I agree. I had to mute myself. Got some little background noise in here. Yes, I totally agree with you. I think it's great to be in groups that are supportive and to tap into those people that are in there. And I want to offer this to Catherine. She says, in my mind, I have already done it and failed. I know, crazy. It's not crazy, Catherine. It's reality for you. And I keep thinking about how I feel after feeling rejected. I know, just do it. So now, saying the words just do it is one thing, right? But actually doing it is a different thing. So what I'd like to, if you're interested, in anybody else who's interested, is you can, if you'd like, you can hop on a call with me, 30-minute free session, and just, hop on a call with me. And maybe there's something I can help you work through, because my specialty is helping people break through their fears so that they can do the things that they want to do, or do the things that they know they need to do. I've helped over 350 people do their first ever live video. Many of those have gone on to have their own shows. And so the thing is that there's something you can be doing out there, and there's some fear that's stopping you from doing that. Let's hop on a call. Maybe I can help you break through that fear. A lot of times all it takes me is 10 minutes and we can help you. So go to livinglive.tv/30, and I would love to see you there. And I'm going to sign off because it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to sign off my voice because I have somebody else talking in the background, and it might be distracting for you guys. So this is Lynda West with Just Do It, and Stephen Healey. There.
Right, so Lynda's gone quiet for a moment. The show's mine. No, we have a ball every week when we get together and just chat, and you help make the show by commenting. And if we don't catch every comment during the show, we'll always come back and do it afterwards. Lynda's offer there of 30 minutes, I definitely take that up, because it's a discussion, it's helpful, and there's something magical about doing your first live. And if you've got somebody to hold your hand to do it, then it makes it a lot easier, because if you go live for the first time and you enjoy it, and that's the whole point of doing this, you go live and enjoy it, then you're going through a second show, third show, and a fourth show, and Lynda is out at helping you do that. We are, as I'm aware, up to the hour, and we'll come back next week. We're back at the same time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. in the UK. We look forward to seeing you here then. I'm going to try and pronounce Talk O Tuesday. Well, just fill in the form, links up above, and you could be a co-host with Lynda and just try out this wonderful medium. And with that, I've run out of words. And Lynda does have bots, and there will be bots in Talk O Tuesday. Oh, I'm corpsing here. That's right. To everybody who's watched us today, from Lynda and I, thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week. Bye.